we lost at least 12 lives in the fields of North Carolina. They realized nobody else had the power to help them in real crisis like the pandemic other than themselves.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Leticia Zavala is the co-coordinator of El Futuro Es Nuestro. We're really excited to have her on. El Futuro Es Nuestro is one of the co-conveners for the Southern Workers Assembly's Southern Worker Action Summit that is taking place next weekend. Leticia, welcome to the Valley Labor Report. We're really excited to have you.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Can you explain to the audience what the Southern Worker Action Summit is?
Yes, the Southern Workers Assembly is hosting an event for all workers of the South to come together and strategize around what's best for the worker movement. We've got workers from all sectors coming, farm workers, fast food workers, construction workers, students, all sorts of workers that are being impacted by the situation with the current administration.
Well, and what kind of program is the Southern Workers Assembly and the other participants putting together? Like, what are the sorts of workshops and things that workers will be participating in?
Oh, I'm so excited about the workshops. We're having workshops on how to organize committees in workplaces, how to prepare for strikes, how to mobilize Black and brown workers together. We've got workshops on immigrant justice and histories of struggle and areas where we've learned and we've grown, where we've got elders coming to share their stories on what has worked in the past and what needs to be improved.
And when I was talking to some folks with the Southern Workers Assembly about trying to set up this interview, they mentioned that that your organization was a co-convener. It's you and the Southern Workers Assembly are hosting this summit. Can you explain a little bit more about your organization and why you wanted to be so closely involved with putting on this event?
Yeah, so we're a farm worker rights organization. We started in 2022, a group of farm workers that come here mainly on H-2A visas. They come here to work the crops of tobacco, sweet potato, and Christmas trees. They realized that nobody else had the power to help them in real crisis like the pandemic other than themselves. And so they started organizing and working together. They launched a campaign to fight against the deaths that were happening in the fields. During the pandemic, we lost at least 12 lives in the fields of North Carolina. And after the pandemic, we continued to see workers die from heat stroke and suicide and bad working conditions and the lack of medical attention. So we've been mobilizing and organizing around the right to medical attention, the right to breaks, access to water, and our own kitchens in the fields. And to us, it's important because we are at the bottom of the food chain, and there are other workers that depend on us for our work. And so if we're not organized, how can we really create change? So we're excited to be in collaboration with meat packers, with restaurant workers, and with other people in the food industry to gain more power and gain respect.
Yeah, absolutely. The farm worker organizing is incredibly important at this moment, I think, and I'm sure that the folks that you're organizing with are starting to feel really scared right now. I mean, how are folks reacting to what the administration is doing, and what are some of the things that your organization is trying to do in response, if you don't mind me asking?
You know what? I think this is a unique time for us because we've been scared for decades.
Mm,
Deportations have always been present. And I think this is an opportunity for us because other people are finally identifying with the struggle that we've had for years. And so we're eager to come out and share our learnings and our experience with being threatened consistently. And I think we're angry and we're ready to fight back.
fantastic. Well, where can folks go to learn more about the Southern Worker Action Summit if they're interested in that?
You can visit our website. It's the Southern Workers Assembly.org. You will find a tab for the summit. There's the agenda. You can register. I think actually we've closed the registration because we have over 300 people coming. But there's gonna be a lot of follow up. So stay in touch regardless, and we hope to see y'all there.
And where is it?
It's gonna be in Spartanburg, South Carolina, at the Hilton Garden Inn.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, Leticia. Is there anything else that you wanted to make sure that you leave our audience with before we let you go?
I think it's really important. It's a really important time, right? This administration has been really good at sending attacks equally and to all sectors, to all groups of people. And if people are in doubt about what to do and where to go, the Workers' Assembly is where we're educating folk. We're learning about the politics, connecting where administrative policies can affect our workplaces and how our community can affect the working conditions of our workplaces and how we can improve. So please get involved. Let us know if there's questions. If you want to organize a committee, that's what we're here for.
All right. Leticia Zavala, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I really appreciate it.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
Hopefully going to be able to get somebody from the Southern Workers Assembly on after the summit to do sort of a debrief. These sorts of events, I think, are really great. I've been to, Labor Notes does similar types of gatherings, and, the focus is really on bringing together rank and file folks rather than, union officials and things like that. And I've been to both sorts of events where you have a bunch of union officials and where it's primarily focused on the rank and file. And I have always gotten more out of the events and the summits and the, summer schools and conventions where the focus is on connecting rank and file workers, educating rank and file workers, learning from rank and file workers, and trying to think about paths forward rather than, the stuff that's primarily people are going who are already, full-time working for unions, are leaders, quote unquote, or union officials. I've just always found that those events are, I don't know, they're just less engaging to me. And so I'm sure that this is going to be a really great event. And particularly, these folks are folks from the South focused on organizing the South. The Chattanooga Area Labor Council president is going to be there. I was talking to him earlier this week, and he said that he's going to be there. So maybe we can get him to call in afterwards and talk to us and give us a debrief. He's a good guy. So
yeah, I mean, I'm really proud of what they're doing. I love to hear that over 300 folks are registered for this event because Southern Workers Assembly is doing really important work, especially in areas with really low union density, right? South Carolina, North Carolina have the lowest union density of any state in the country. So that's really important that they're trying to kind of fill some gaps. There's a lack of infrastructure and ecosystem with the labor movement here in the South, particularly in less dense states. And so, what they're doing is not just working with rank and file union members, but rank and file workers generally, right? Unorganized workers. They're trying to grow this movement. and provide space to educate, agitate, and organize workers who, don't have unions, don't know where to find a union. Maybe there's not a union really around in their area for their industry. And something else I really appreciate about Southern Workers Assembly is their industrial focus. They're really focused on building power throughout industries and not just particular workplaces, and connecting people from different workplaces that are in the same industry. And they're working to get people in strategic workplaces, right? I mean, and that's something that's really, really important. If you want to make a change, something you can do is pick a job that is strategic. Go to work somewhere where you can possibly organize, where there's leverage to organize, where there's maybe some momentum to organize, right? So if you're listening and you're like, what could I do to get involved in the labor movement? It could be, going to work at Starbucks, or, going to work at Mercedes, or going to work at a place that has organizing already underway, or maybe it's organizing with your workplace where you're at currently, right? And Southern Workers Assembly is a great resource to find out how to do that and get plugged in with other people who are actively doing that and building power in their community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're doing really great work, and excited to see what happens. South Carolina, like you said, has, I think, actually the lowest union density in the country. So having it there, I think, is meaningful.
Yeah, it's kind of a symbolic thing,
Yeah.
I think, to do it in the least unionized state in the South, in the country, to bring workers together to talk about building a working class movement. I think that's really cool. It's powerful. Regret that I can't be there, but I really am excited to hear, reports from how it goes. A lot of their strength is concentrated in the Carolinas, but I know they have a presence outside of there, Georgia, Tennessee, other areas. If folks in Alabama are listening, definitely, reach out to Southern Workers Assembly if you're interested in getting more involved with them. We consider them someone we always want to work with and partner with here in Alabama and move this movement forward.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.